Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Northern Kentucky Spotlight Podcast powered by CKREU. I'm your host, Sarah Brookbank. Today on the podcast, I am joined by Dashai Thompson, Associate Director of Member Relations here at the Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce, and Pam Rincones, Executive Director of the Hispanic Chamber, Cincinnati, USA. They join me to talk about Fusion 2026, a really exciting networking event happening later this month. We are also joined by Amy Hehman of Dennig, who highlights their fractional HR services. Now, let's go hear from our sponsor, meet our members of the week, and I'll be back with this week's guests.
Ranking on Google Search and Maps is easy to understand, but hard to do. It requires constant effort and attention, uploading new photos, responding to Google reviews, writing weekly posts, and checking suggested updates. Google listing optimization takes experience and time, and there are no shortcuts. CKREU gives your Google My Business account the steady, consistent attention it needs to be effective, optimizing, updating, and expanding critical content every single week. From local retail stores to large regional networks, CKREU generates content, establishes benchmarks, and creates dramatic, measurable increases in engagement. So what can CKREU do for your business? More calls, more clicks, more clients.
Congratulations to our members of the week. You can learn more about these businesses by following the Northern Kentucky Chamber on social media, where we highlight one of these businesses each day. Now, let's meet our members of the week. True Blue Tax Co. is a family-run virtual tax preparation firm proudly based in Northern Kentucky, helping individuals, families, and small businesses across Northern Kentucky and Greater Cincinnati file their taxes accurately and with confidence. Alamere is dedicated to awakening the light within every woman, with a mission to help you recognize and amplify the power you already possess. For 25 years, this organization has supported students, families, and communities as Covington partners. Now, as Partners for Change, they're expanding their reach across Northern Kentucky to create stronger, more connected school communities. For 18 years, Santa has serviced Class A governmental and medical facilities across Northern Kentucky and now offers laundry solutions for businesses. Turner is a North American-based international construction services company and a leader across diverse market sectors. Wave Foundation, the nonprofit partner of the Newport Aquarium, inspires and fosters environmental stewards of aquatic life through education, conservation, and volunteerism. Chick-fil-A Houston Road is a locally owned and operated quick-service dining destination known for signature chicken sandwiches, freshly prepared meals, and exceptional hospitality. Master Provisions is a faith-based food bank partnering with hundreds of local nonprofits to fight food insecurity across the tri-state. Hi, everyone. Today on the podcast, I have a couple guests here to talk about Fusion 2026, which is happening on June 11th. Ladies, introduce yourselves.
My name is Dashai Thompson. I'm with Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce.
And I'm Pam Rincones with the Hispanic Chamber, Cincinnati, USA.
Yes, I am so excited to have you both on. Fusion is one of our really cool, very exciting events. It brings together a lot of the different cultural chambers here across Greater Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky. So jump right in. Tell us a little bit about Fusion, what it is, what people can expect.
Absolutely. So Fusion is this high energy networking cultural experience where it brings professionals from the Greater Cincinnati area and the Northern Kentucky area, where professionals will be able to be endowed in so much of a beautiful cultural effect. This is more than just an event. It's an amazing experience that creates cultural connections, networking, and more.
Yeah, to add on that.
I think Fusion really is the networking event of the year because last year it was a sellout. So folks don't have their tickets. Don't snooze on this because you want to be in the door.
Yeah, and last year, turning people away at the door last year, but we're in a bigger venue. We're downtown at the Mercantile Immersive Center, which is such a cool event.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that. It is so cool that it's high tech. It is the second to the Sphere in Vegas. So when you come into that location, you're going to be seeing so many different lights, colors. It just helps with the vibrant effects of the environment that we're creating with that cultural feel.
Yeah,
absolutely. When I think about the energy level last year and then to have that kind of digitized technological added my gosh, it's going to be through the roof.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be really cool. And so both of you were a big part of this last year.
Yes.
Pam, you mentioned the energy and kind of stepping it up this year. What can attendees expect when they come to Fusion this year?
Oh, goodness. What can they expect? They can expect to meet tons of great people. And because it's 7 chambers coming together and
That's
professional organizations, I guess
Yes.
you would say, too, with the World Affairs Council, all of their members are being invited. And so that extends it. It's open to the public. So being able to connect with just about anybody you need to get in contact with, this is the place. And then for those who are thinking, gosh, networking takes up so much time, this is going to be the way to do it, because the number of people that will be there in one location, that's fantastic. So members, partners, prospects, for 2 hours of real connection.
Real good connections.
Yeah. And one of the things I also want to ask, especially with both of the work that you both do, we talk a lot about like the importance of different perspectives. We talk about like women in the workforce is really great when you have like diverse teams, no matter what the makeup, as long as it's a diverse team, you're bringing different ideas from the table. When you're thinking of the types of businesses and the type of people who should attend this event, and what are they going to take away from meeting new people that might be from a different walk of life in there?
I'd take this one away. If you're a young entrepreneur, if you're early in your career, if you're looking to network, connect with so many different individuals in the room just to get an understanding of different cultural perspectives, this is the place. I think with the collaboration of all of the chambers and the World Affairs Council shows unity and impact. And that right there speaks volumes about how it's so important when diverse perspectives come together, what can come out of that.
Right. We learn so much from one another, too. And in this very global, very international world, in a region that has, tons of large employers, and Fortune 500 companies, so much startup activity, all of that under one roof, that's a lot.
Yes. A lot of people are going to be there. I am so excited about this. And one of the things that I think is so cool is that we're bringing all of these different chambers and cultural organizations together. Pam, I want to ask you specifically about the Hispanic Chamber and what you all specifically do. We haven't had you on the podcast before, so I want to give you an opportunity to plug what you guys do.
This is something I should be able to just whip off the tip of my tongue because we do so many things.
Those other duties is assigned.
But, really connections are the number one thing from the Hispanic Chamber to the Hispanic demographic and people looking to do business with Hispanic businesses and talent. That's a big one. We have our monthly business leads lunch, our monthly networking meeting. One's at noon, one's in the evening to catch people's different times. We have then also a lot of collaboration. We are such a connector. When people are trying to connect with somebody in the Hispanic community, if it comes through the Hispanic Chamber, it just accelerates that. When you know somebody who knows somebody, that's one of those things. So we're definitely a great connector and collaborator. We also have a YP community, so we love working with Northern Kentucky's YPs as well. And our community has grown to about over 250 in that, so that's pretty strong. And so we're bringing that. Another one would be food. We wouldn't be our culture if it weren't for food and hospitality. Mom, please no, I'm bringing it up. So Cincy Sabroso is a program where we list all of the restaurants and all of the tiendas, the stores that are special to the Hispanic foods and items. So we've got that. And then cultural events like Cincy Cinco just happened beginning of May, and that went for 2 days, big festival in Fountain Square, which we hope to move next year because we've outgrown it. We need to enable more businesses to participate in that. Then we have our Hispanic Volunteer Day because all of these groups do such good community service, and we do that as well, primarily in the Price Hill area. About 300 people descend on that area to do projects galore to help. And then we partner a lot, like I mentioned earlier, like Salsa on the Square has already begun. It's not our program, but it's one that we definitely try to bring more people to and partner. Benefits, insurance benefits. I know NKY does that, and our other partners that will be there at Fusion. So I would say those are a lot. Oh, and I wouldn't want to leave off the ERG leaders. ERG leaders, you are in our focus as well, and making sure they get development and connection and best practices. So those are a few things.
More than a few. And you guys are doing incredible work. And I know Dashai and all of us at the Chamber are so excited to continue to work with you all as you guys continue to do great work, especially when we think about the growing population in Northern Kentucky, the area won't grow if we are not welcoming, especially to immigrants. We talk about it a lot. We have a whole thing with Welcoming Week that happens up in September. But tell us a little bit about the growing population and how you guys are meeting this community. Obviously, it's your community. You guys are well connected. What do you think business leaders need to know?
Well, I think one thing that business leaders need to know is just how important it is to make that connection on a personal level. People first, business second. And we can help with that. So when people are coming to our community and they don't know where might they go to get a food specialty item that they want, or a certain type of music that they would like, or a certain type of dining experience, anything like that. So we do partner with like FC Cincinnati, we partner with the Reds, Bengals, primarily at a high level when some of those folks are coming in that are coming from a different background. But even United Way has a new person relocating here, and they're of a Hispanic background. So making sure that they're connected and getting not only the wonderful things that the region offers, but also that element of kind of home. We all like that, right?
Yeah.
It makes us really engage and then stay.
Yeah, essential. That attraction and retention piece is absolutely essential.
We can help with that. So if leaders want to reach out to us and they're not sure, they want to make sure they roll out that red carpet, we can help.
Okay, I love that.
Call Pam.
Call Pam.
Call Pam. And Dashai, I want to talk to you about, we're partnering with a number of different chambers, obviously not just the Hispanic Chamber, the Japanese American Chamber, the Indian American Chamber, Asian Chamber, so many different organizations. You mentioned the World Affairs Council. Talk about the significance of partnering with all of these organizations. Why is that important for us?
As a repeat, it's unity and impact. When you bring all the chambers and other organizations into one space, the change and impact that we can all make from different cultural perspectives. I mean, each of us all serve something in the Northern Kentucky and Greater Cincinnati area, and that alone, with all the work that we do, you can see it within the region, you can see it in Greater Cincinnati. So Fusion is a perfect way to visit and talk to a lot of the chambers and the World Affairs Council to see the impact that they have made, and then also look at how all of our missions align. We all are going for the same thing, just to make sure that where we live, stay, we love it, we work here, we want to play here, we want to eat here, we want to bring so much more vibrancy. So we're just all trying to make a difference.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. And Dashai, to close us out,
yes,
tell us how people can register, tell us how people can learn more.
Absolutely. If you go on to northernkentuckychamber.com, you can go ahead and register for Fusion. Also, there are some great benefits that come when you register. You get 1 complimentary drink and some light bites, so you can enjoy that, and then maybe some other special things as well too.
Yeah, well, this is going to be such a great event happening June 11th, like we said, nkychamber.com/events for that direct link. Yeah. And ladies, thank you so much for being here. Any final thoughts about Fusion before I let you go?
Get registered. Don't miss it.
And if you don't remember that link, if you want to go to the chamber website or the World Affairs, whoever member you are, if you're forgetting it, it's on all our calendars because we're all working together.
That's right. Each chamber who is in partnership with all of this, if you go to their page, they also have an additional link that links right to that registration page, and go ahead and get registered.
Yeah, awesome. Makes it really easy. Well, ladies, thank you so much for your time today.
Yay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Today on the podcast, I am joined by Amy Hehman of Barnes Dennig. Amy, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, Sarah. Thanks so much for having us. Really appreciate it.
I am so excited to have you on. Like I said, Barnes Dennig, you guys have been on the podcast before, but it's been a while since we've had you on. Tell us a little bit about what you guys do, your services, and how you got started.
And again, thank you so much for having me. Greatly appreciate it. So, we had 2 founders, Bob Barnes and Al Dennig, and they founded the firm because they believed that there was a better way of doing business. And one founded in the principle of really caring for clients, colleagues, and the community in equal measure. And while we've grown exponentially over the past 60 years, and our services have really evolved as our clients' needs have changed and as business needs have changed, that principle still guides us today.
Yeah, and that's incredible. Yeah. And you guys provide a fractional HR service.
Yes.
What does that mean? What types of services do you offer to businesses?
Yeah, it's a great question, because I think that the word fractional is gaining traction in the marketplace. Mm-hmm. And so what fractional HR means is essentially, think about it as in A client may not necessarily have a fully functional HR team, but they have a need to have that HR advisory or support.
Mm-hmm.
And so fractional really comes into place with what does the client need, when they need it, and at the level in which they need it. So it is kind of like, okay, they may need a fractional of a person or a fractional of a service, etc. It's really all about making sure that we're delivering what our clients need when they need it.
Yeah, and that's really important. Yeah. Like you said, for some businesses might need like a team of people. Some might just need a half a person.
Right. That's true. I mean, I think that the level of the person, but also the experience, like the practitioner experience may change. Not every company needs a CHRO. Not every company needs a talent acquisition partner, right? So it really does depend upon what they need. Oftentimes we find that our clients, they need individuals who are more, in the HR world, right? We're generalists. Right. So they need someone who's been a progressive generalist that has just a breadth of experience and knowledge. Some need individuals who are very specific to compensation and benefits, right? So if they're just looking to have their payroll processed, for example, or if they need a talent acquisition strategy or someone to help them recruit, that would be something that would be niche, and that might be all that they need.
Yeah, so it's nice to hear that you guys are providing a lot of those services. What types of businesses do you work with? What does your client load look like?
So it's very different in the types of size. I would say, first of all, small to medium-sized companies. For us, that might be a company that's 200 or under. Mm-hmm. Most of the clients 100 or under, right, for us. And if you think about it, these are the companies that don't have the necessity to have a full-time HR team or a full-time HR person. So, it would be a company size that would support that, or that would be, their desire. Nonprofit organizations, we certainly have a great number of nonprofit clients at Barnes Dennig. In addition to that, manufacturing, construction, educational institutions, religious institutions, for example. It really does run the spectrum. And you think about that, it's like, any type of organization may need accounting services or tax services, certainly HR services, but the level in which they need it definitely changes, depending upon where they're at in their growth stage, and again, what their specific needs are.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, we try. Sarah.
That's so fun. Well, it sounds like you guys are really providing a great service, and I know that you personally have worked very closely with the Chamber. You have a really fun backstory about how you've worked with the Chamber and your personal background in working with different types of businesses. Tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, I'll try to keep it brief, but no, I have a long-standing history with the Northern Kentucky Chamber. I have a very unique background in the fact that I had the opportunity to own and operate a business, and it was a staffing company, essentially, with my mom and dad. And so we did business 26 counties in northern Kentucky, or Kentucky rather, and we were, right on Grandview, right around from Buttermilk.
Yeah,
a location, right, for about 10 years. And so what we were able to do is, very similar to what HR brings to the table, which is, we want to improve the lives of others through helping them, with their career in some way, shape, or form. And so for me, the Chamber was a great way to get to know not only businesses and understand the economy here within, the state, but also make some really great friends. And, there are individuals and relationships that I have today that, I just would not be so had it not been for the Chamber. So.
Yeah, I saw you hugged Nancy Spivey when you walked in first thing today. And you were recently a speaker at our Workforce Best Practices Symposium with the Talent Strategies team too, so you're really connected with us.
Yes. So Barnes Dennig, we were actually a sponsor. Mm-hmm. We were a breakfast sponsor. Yes, I had the opportunity to facilitate around talent strategies for that particular event, and it was a fantastic event. I think you all had like close to 200 200 employees, employers attend the event. It was really amazing. It was probably one of the largest events I've attended in that space.
Yeah, so, that was a big one that we host every year, which is really fun. And you said to me, the culture seems very similar with what you see every day at Barnes Dennig and what you've experienced working in and around the chamber. Tell us a little bit about the importance of culture when you're working.
I think, when I talked about, Bob Barnes and Al Dennig and the principles that they founded the firm on more than 60 years ago, they really focused in on, each other, right? They focused in on colleagues, they focused on the community, they focused on clients, and said there's got to be a better way of doing business. And part of that is just what is the outreach like for one another? What is the outreach like for the community, etc.? And I think that the chamber, to me, it just embodies those same types of values. Again, that's why we're here. We're here to help really truly one another. So I've been incredibly fortunate to have the opportunity to lead our fractional HR support and advisory service line for Barnes Dennig. And part of what makes it so rewarding is our clients and our internal business partners.
Yeah, I love hearing that. I love when you can tell that people really like what they're doing every day. One of the other things, circling all the way back to Barnes Dennig and the work that you all do, what do you think when you're working with these clients? What is the biggest benefit you are providing to them?
I just believe that it is, first of all, a tailored approach with knowledgeable subject matter experts. So, we have individuals on our team that are very well seasoned. This is not, I've said it before, it's kind of like not their first HR rodeo.
Yeah.
And not only that, but because they have, two of us on the team, right, we have more than 20 years experience. And so when you look at the background, you'll be able to see that, they've worked with various industries, with different size companies in different growth stages of their business and of their trajectory within their business as an organization. And so when I think about that, it's like, okay, we're bringing that expertise to, maybe a client who only has 20 people.
Yeah.
And again, they might need, okay, I need my policy set up. I need my job descriptions. I need some sort of infrastructure. So those are things that they may have a need for. But then again, they may just have a need for a question. They just need advice on something, how to handle it, how to handle a sensitive employee relation matter, for example. Hey, if I do this, is this going to be compliant? Am I going to be compliant there if I don't do that? And so, we're not attorneys, we're not employment attorneys, but we are practitioners. We've got a lot of experience under our belt, and so we provide the best guidance possible. And then we will also help with, whether it's administrative, whether it's the day-to-day, or whether it's the strategic. We'll operate at all three levels as the client needs it for those specific items within HR.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I know it's kind of it's kind of fractional HR and HR is such a big there are so many things that fall under human resources, but we try to be very I try to make it very simple for individuals. It's we offer compliance assessments. We will offer recruiting or talent acquisition support, and that could look a variety of different ways. We offer training and development services, and obviously HR business partnership services, along with compensation and benefits. So those are big, huge buckets, and there's a lot of different functions or tasks that might be under those umbrellas.
Yeah.
So,
really big benefits is what I am hearing to those clients that work with you all.
They'll get definitely again, a seasoned practitioner on their team, and we always, there's never just one person on the team. That's another benefit of it. So, but we really do work we partner with the client to say, okay, well, what level do you need? And that's the level that we'll partner in. If they don't have a need that month, okay, well, they don't have a need that month. Mm-hmm. That's okay. But we're here for them if they do. Yeah. And we're here for them at the level in which they need it when they need it the most.
Yeah. Well, that is a lot, Amy. It sounds really great that you guys are doing all this.
Sorry, Sarah, I just kind of let it out there.
No, it's good. I love learning. I love knowing about our members. Yeah. But so for people that are hearing this and they're like, oh, Barnes Dennig sounds like the right partner for me. What's the best way for people to get in touch with you all?
Well, and first of all, I definitely need to be able to say that fractional HR is not the only service that Barnes Dennig supports. We have a fractional accounting service line that will support as well, very similar to HR, but it's finance and accounting services, tax, assurance, wealth management, SOC reporting. We are traditionally a CPA firm, but again, as I mentioned earlier, our services have evolved as our business community has evolved. But really, the best way for them to get in contact with us is that every single service line has a page on our website, barnesdennig.com, and they can go. There's lots of information there, but the practice leaders and individuals internally at Barnes Dennig can certainly help them. They can reach out direct. There's a way that they can say, hey, please contact me. So again, if they're interested in fractional HR, they would enter their information and they'd get an email or a phone call from me. So it's really simply that easy. But our website is a wealth of knowledge, and much more than what I can say in this half an hour. But there's a lot of really great information to include client testimonials. I'm trying to think of what else. There's FAQ pages, there's thought leadership, blogs and so forth, videos, 101 videos. We recently did one on the OBBBA. And so, there's just a ton of content out there. So.
Yeah. Well, you said barnesdennig.com, correct?
Correct.
Okay,
yes.
Great. So that's where people should go if they want to get more information. And Amy, it has been so great to have you on. Before I let you go, is there anything else you think our viewers and listeners need to know?
No, I don't think that there's anything else, but, please, even if you're unsure, if we could benefit your organization, we would love to connect with you. Because again, if you have any one of those needs, you need people, you need HR services, finance, accounting, tax services, assurance, wealth management, SOC reporting, those are all things that we offer. So we'd love to talk with you and at least have a conversation. And it's not, I will also say, Sarah, it's not like a hardcore, sales process. Yeah. It is simply a conversation, and it starts with how can we help you?
Yeah. Well, I love that. Well, Amy, thank you so much for your time today.
Yeah. Thank you, Sarah. It's great to talk to you.
Thank you to our Investors Circle members. Our Investors Circle members help us promote and support the development of strong businesses and a vibrant economy in the Northern Kentucky region. Thank you to all of these members for their investment, which will help the Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce in our mission to develop and grow a thriving business community. Northern Kentucky needs tailored solutions to address our housing shortage. Home for All, Northern Kentucky Housing Strategies, explores how we can retain young adults, help older residents downsize or age in place, and ensure new neighbors have housing options that fit their lives. Dive into the report at housingNKY.org. Welcome back. Thanks so much for tuning into today's podcast as we highlighted Barnes Dennig and Fusion 2026. Like Pam and Dashai and I spoke about, Fusion 2026 is happening on Thursday, June 11th at the Mercantile Immersive in downtown Cincinnati. Last year was a sellout event, so you will not want to miss this really exciting night of networking in a very cool space. You can get your tickets now at nkychamber.com/events. Thank you once again to our podcast sponsor, CKREU, Google and Amazon advertising experts. And finally, if you're a member who would like to be featured on the podcast, or if you're someone who is interested in joining the Northern Kentucky Chamber of Commerce, please reach out to Lynn Ablin. You can find her contact information on the screen if you're a viewer, and our listeners can find that at nkychamber.com/staff. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll talk to you guys next week.